Hey guys, what's going on? How are you and Dookie? We're doing good. And Duke is waiting outside. He's waiting for his food. He wants to have an early meal. So I'm gonna make him some eggs. How you guys doing? Good morning from Apple Valley, Utah. That's awesome. I'm down here in Canada, nice and cold. Can you guys hear me good? I just want to make sure because it was the microphone was making some noise. I just want to make sure you guys can hear very clear. Good morning, buddy. Hey, Chaz, how are you? I know I got a lot of emails. I'll probably have to respond to everybody probably by today and tomorrow. Did you get to watch Little House on Prayer? I haven't yet. I don't have a TV here or cable, so I'll have to actually watch the show through YouTube. And to be honest with you, this week I've been extremely busy. I've been booked back to back, and I've been trying to finish the school. I wanted to launch it today or tomorrow, so I've been extremely quite busy. But I'll definitely have to watch it. If you get a chance to send me a link, I'll make things easier for me, so this way I can get a chance to actually watch it and tell you what I think. It'll be awesome. I'm doing great on your protocol. Thanks. Sounds good. And I think you did send me some questions. I'm not sure, but I have about 32 emails. I haven't really had a chance to respond to everybody just because I've been extremely busy. So hopefully today, tomorrow, I can possibly start to catch up to everyone. So I do apologize in advance if I missed anybody's emails, but guys, be patient with me. I do have a lot of things that I try to run and utilize. How are you and Duke? We're doing good, Harris. How are you? So I'm gonna have my meal right now. That's the only reason we're doing this quite early, because usually on Sundays I like to have my meal early. So I'm gonna share with you guys what I do with my meals, so kind of gives you guys an example. Your hair is growing well, peptide working. I don't know if it's growing well. I haven't cut it. I went for a haircut on Wednesday, and the lady never showed up. It drove 45 minutes, and she never showed up. She's the only barber in town. And she sends me a message 2 days later that she had a flat tire. I'm like, at least give me a call, let me know. So I'm gonna try again probably this week. But no, I haven't. The only thing is that I've been doing is using rosemary and micro needling to see how that works. The peptide, I'm gonna start on it in February. 1st of February, I got my peptide, so I'm gonna actually try it out, and I'll let you guys know what I think of it, whether it's actually working good or not. Let's open the door for Duke. He's knocking. I know he wants to come in. There he is. Come on in. I know you're hungry. You can smell the food. Yeah, yes, come. I'll make you some, Duke. Go sit. Yeah, go ahead. So always the first thing you guys gonna do, 1 cup of warm water, okay, right before you eat. This is how you can actually prime your gut. So this is gonna be, about 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and we're gonna do some Himalayan salt. This is roughly about there's about 1/4 teaspoon of Himalayan salt. So this should actually be your initial start before you have any type of meal. That's the only way you can prime your gut, have proper acidity level. And doing this about 15 minutes before you eat would be excellent. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna start cooking. We're gonna have some raw meat. We got some yak some yak meat, and we're gonna have some salmon as well too. Not salmon, sablefish. Maurice, what is the vitamin and amino acids to help with mid microbiota? I think for that, I know you did send me a message. I think yesterday you responded to one of the video. I think it would be better for you to book a time with me if you get a chance, because this way there's a specific breakdown of the amino acids and the vitamins to actually support, but I need to kind of find out a little bit more information about you. So if you have any type of testing, any past scans, just so we can have some facts to work with, and this way we can actually help you with it. Will that help for ulcerative colitis? It does actually help, because the whole idea is you need the proper acidity in your gut. So we're gonna drink this, then we're gonna get the meat ready. So we're gonna have yak. We're gonna mix 3 egg yolks raw. We're gonna blend it a bit in one of the units I just got the other day. Make it a little bit more finer. And while I'm doing that, I'll cook 3 eggs for Duke, because he's waiting. Then we can enjoy the meal. How do I book a time? That's the results from my cardiac MRI. So if you go to my main page on YouTube, you should be able to access my website, and you should be able to book a time. If you can't find it, send me a message on this video, like a comment, and I can respond back with the link. How do we know if our stomach acid is acidic enough? See, the idea is when you're eating your meat, you should not be getting any type of bloated, constipation, belching, gases, any of these issues that they actually show up. That means your acidic is quite low. So your acidic your pH has to be between 1.5 and 2. Where do you get yak? It is in Canada. There's a farmer I've been dealing with for the past 12 years now. So I usually go to him. He's about a 6-hour drive from my location, and I go there every 3 months. I pick up the yak meat for at least good 3 months period, 3 to 4 months. So I usually get about 400 or 500 pounds of meat from him. Mostly a lot of ground beef, because the yak meat is very, very tough and is very lean. So with the ground meat, he mixes all the collagen, the fat, and the skin all in one. So it's roughly about a 90-10. So sometimes I do have to add some fat to it, or you want to eat it raw, because if you cook it, it gets quite dry. It does have a nice sweet flavor, but it's very, very lean. So let me get the stuff ready here, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to be doing. So I'm gonna put the meat in here. I don't know if I can back up a bit here so you guys can still see. Maybe. So I'm just gonna put the meat in this stainless steel, and we're gonna actually blend it with some eggs as well too. Should I put this first? Have you ever taken Lugo's iodine? I cannot get oysters. I haven't, no. You know, you just have to be careful if you're going to be doing the Lugo's iodine, because whether you need it or not, and you're going to keep an eye on your TPO for your thyroid, because if it's if overstimulated, it's going to show high levels, and you don't want to end up be taking something that could be causing issues. If you have a thyroid issue, most of the thyroid issues are due to the under-eating. Not so much that it's a thyroid issue, it's mostly coming from your gut. I didn't send before. I was saying get a self-see hair machine from Amazon or somewhere, saves you a trip. Comment, didn't send before. I was saying get a what's a self-see? Self-getting hair machine. I gotta look into that. If I don't react well to salt and don't use it, will my stomach acid still eventually? Yeah, it's all based on your eating. See, keep in mind, there's about 33% of the population are actually salt sensitive. So salt is not for everybody. So if you're very salt sensitive, you don't need to actually add it, but you still need a little bit to actually enhance your volume as well too. And in time, you know, there's a lot of individuals out there that don't actually consume salt. It's not based on whether they're getting all the nutrients from their food. It's based on hormonal issues. George, cheers to Arizona. So let's get some eggs. So I'm gonna give, these 3 eggs are gonna be for Duke. And these 3 eggs, I'm actually gonna eat them raw with the meat. So all my eggs are pasture raised. You guys know that I have my own chickens. So we got these yesterday from my chickens. You can see, I don't know, they have some freaking poop on them. What's your opinion about raw honey? You know, use it. I'm not a big fan on anything. Sugar is sugar, right? Sugar is sugar. It's whether you need it or not, whether you want to use it as a tool. You want to maybe use it and see how your body feels overall. If you don't feel good, then discontinue it. If you feel good, don't overconsume it. Just use it as a tool to satisfy your needs or possibly help with your sleep. That's it. Have a good day. Cheers. So let me break the eggs in here. Give me a second, guys. Let me take out the yolk. Try to do everything on the camera here. Hey Duke, go sit, bud. I'm gonna cook you some eggs, yes. Yeah, you know. You're hungry? Okay. Hold on, let me do this very fast. Go sit. Where are you taking my socks to, Duke? Duke? There we go, we got 3 egg yolks. It's a hair machine. You can actually cut your own hair. Read the above comment again later if you want. YouTube not displaying full comment. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. That would be cool to do. This way I don't have to go freaking drive 45 minutes every time to get a haircut. I'm eating about 5,000 calories a day trying to bulk up to 270. Yeah. That should be good. 200, you know, it's all about nutrient density and how much protein you're getting as well too. Meat tartare, yeah, we're gonna do some meat tartare here. I put 3 egg yolks and we have yak meat. So I'm just gonna blend it up together here. Just give me a second. I just gotta turn on the the stove here because Duke is hungry. He wants to have his eggs. Duke. Okay, I'm making you some eggs, bud. Give me a sec. What's up, Maurice? Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just gonna blend this. Give me a sec here. I don't feel like mixing with the fork. Have you always enjoyed raw ground beef? I've been eating ground beef probably like raw. It's always been a tradition in our history. Back in the days, we used to eat raw liver and suet for breakfast. It's always been a delicacy for us. I started roughly when I was 5 years old eating raw, and I got quite big into it again about probably 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Vitamin D3 should be with your meal 1. Vitamin K2 should be with your last meal. Magnesium should be consumed every 4 hours. Almost done. By the way, the meat has been sitting outside for about 24 hours, so usually I keep it as a room temperature. I never really do it cold. I do it at least minimum between 6 to 24 hours, and it gives the meat a lot better of a flavor. It's not whether carbs is bad for you or not. The problem is, think of carbs and think of fat as energy. Your heart definitely prefer fat for energy compared to carbs. The problem is we actually tend to overconsume carbohydrates, and that's why we end up getting a lot of oxidative damage and stiffness to the arteries. So it's not whether it's bad or not. If it's used in moderation, it's fine. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. It's not essential. I rather actually get my energy from fat directly. But it is a personal preference and based on your goals. So you guys have to kind of not listen to every influencer's what they say. You have to actually base everything based on your goals, whether you're trying to put on weight, whether you're trying to actually sleep better, cognitive, whether you have issues with your gut, and you have to eliminate carbs. So it's all based on your goals. So it doesn't mean if I don't eat carbs, I only eat raw meat and eggs and cheeses. It doesn't mean that you have to follow the same type of style that I'm actually doing. There's a reason I do that for my heart. And I've seen, the biomarkers that are actually showing a lot of positivity. So that's why I kind of stick to it. But it doesn't mean you have to follow the same type of routine yourself. I would have rice meal of the day because that's when your body will uses the glycogen better to actually help with recovery. Yes, and keep it like something that is not it doesn't have too much anti-nutrients. Give me a second. Let me do the eggs for Duke here. I don't know if you guys. Maybe I should turn the camera so you guys can see. I don't know if you can see. Maybe not. Let's break these eggs. So I have to cook the eggs for Duke for some reason. He doesn't do well on raw eggs. So that's the only thing I kind of have to cook for him. Oh man. What about carb load after each training? I wouldn't do it after every training. You have to kind of listen to your body and see how much you need. You can, if you're gonna do it after every training, you just gotta make sure you're not over consuming too much carbohydrates. Either do it after training, but a smaller amount, or you can do it every 4 days as a carb load. Maurice, what peptides are you trying currently? I'm gonna be doing the MOTC, I'm gonna be doing the copper, and I'm getting a new one coming in. It's a mix for inflammation as well. I'm gonna start in February. ApoB is based on your food intake and timing. If you want to book a time with me, we can talk about it, Nazar, because it varies and it depends how high it is and whether it's actually causing atherosclerosis or not. Can't really give you a straight answer right now because I don't know your history quite a bit yet. Do you freeze your meat? Do you find any benefits of having more bacteria on your meat? That's why I keep it 24 hours before I eat it. I actually find that I digest it a lot better. And yes, I do freeze the meat, but when I buy the meat from the butcher, I got about 400 pounds, so they're all actually frozen. Eating too late equal high ApoB? 100% yes, because it's all about clearance. Clearance predicts your ApoB numbers. Okay, so let's put the meat on this. Give me a second, guys. Let's empty it. Come on. I can't find my stupid spoon. Dude, overcook your eggs, bud. We'll watch this later. Let's get the meat ready here. Give me a sec, guys. Gotta take the eggs for Duke. Okay, we'll give it 5 minutes, Duke, till it cools down, okay, bud? So there's the meat. So we got here about a pound of yak meat. We did mix it with 3 egg yolk raw, and we're gonna top this off with some nice salt. I hope you guys like tartare. This is like probably the best you can actually have as a main meal. I know a lot of you guys said, well, you know, how much should we eat and stuff. Every meal I consume 1 pound of meat minimum, but base it on your energy and your performance, right? So don't just eat it just because you have to. From Arizona, hey Maurice, best food. And usually I use the sea salt. It is a flake sea salt. There we go. Now my meals are quite large because I only eat roughly about 2 meals a day, sometimes 1, so it varies. And I got the eggs for Duke. I got the egg white. I never throw the egg white away, so I actually cook them because your gut is not is not meant to actually eat the egg white raw. And we're actually going to have a piece of brie. So what I do with the brie is I melt it a bit. I have to get my special knife. So usually per meal, I would have that much of a cheese. So this is aged res brie as well. So that's what I tend to have. Hey George, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. Hi Maurice, start on lysine, HCl and vitamin C, 5 milligrams each before bed. Lowering LDL, big drop. Lysine and vitamin C. You mean vitamin C 5 grams, you didn't mean 5 milligrams. I think you meant 5 grams, not milligrams. You actually have to take it 3 times a day because you have to actually hit saturation levels. So you have vitamin C. Vitamin C, I don't know if you handle 5 grams. Some people could, some people have sensitivity and they end up getting soft stool. So it's better to start with 3 grams. You have to do it every 4 hours. So you can take vitamin C and lysine, a 1-to-1 ratio. And every 4 hours you do that. My tolerance level is about 9,000 milligrams of vitamin C. So you have to actually fulfill vitamin C based on your tolerance levels. So what I have here, guys, whoever just came in, I have, and I have it mixed with 3 eggs. I do have the cheese as well, but I'm gonna usually melt it. So there's the egg white. I don't throw it away. So this is about 3 eggs of egg white. So there you go. There's my starting meal, but we'll work at it. This lowers LP small a. Yes and no. I did it for about 5 years. It didn't really lower it much. The only way you can actually lower LP small a, most effective way, is with carnitine and niacin. But you have to actually cut the niacin to a smaller dose every 4 hours as well. Cheers. How do you defrost the meat? Room temperature. There's a meat. It comes usually packaged about 1 pound. I'll keep it outside, not in the fridge. So this has been outside for about 24 hours. This will be for my second meal. Cheers, Harris. Are you worried about microplastics? The thing is, because a lot of the meats are wrapped, whether you buy it from the butcher or not, it's always going to be wrapped in plastic. Some they actually wrap it in paper, but inside the paper they actually use is infused with plastic either way. If you're eating what you're meant to eat, and I think you give your liver and your kidney enough time to actually detox, you shouldn't really have to worry about microplastic a whole lot. Plus, you know, no matter what, we try to kind of live in a nice, clean environment, but no matter what, they always get us with chemtrails, with other stuff too, right? Yeah, I'm eating raw meat and some eggs. The raw meat has about 3 egg yolks mixed. The egg white I like to cook them. Hi Maurice, what diet you recommend for non-alcoholic fatty liver? If you have a fatty liver, you have to actually go on an elimination diet. So what causes the least stress on your liver? It's a carnivore diet, elimination diet. Meat will cause the least amount of stress or inflammation on your liver, because you're not giving the liver a variety of food to actually throw it off balance. The only thing as I put with the meat is just salt. That's it. And egg yolks. I have heard some influencers say that vitamin C supplementation can convert to oxalates. No, it's incorrect on carnivore opinions. It doesn't convert to oxalate at all, no. The oxalates, if they end up having oxalate issues, because of previous diet eating too much vegetables. Could you make a video for exercise for heart health? Yeah. I do have the ebook I wrote on heart flow. Harris, I don't know if you got a chance to view it or download it. Let's go another raw meat eater. Yeah, I've been doing raw meat eater for probably as far as I can remember. So let's go back probably like 12 years ago. So this is not new for me. The egg yolk in the raw meat, I mix it. It is raw. But the egg white, I cook it because our bodies cannot really break down the egg white as good. Duke, you hungry? Yeah. The meat it is, I get it from a butcher, a farmer that I've known for 12 years. Do you use iodine or iodine salt? I don't know. I have to adjust my wood stove. Yeah, lots of myth and things going around behind vitamin C and oxalate. Vitamin C has nothing to do with oxalates. If anything, will actually support the flush of oxalates from the kidney. People are always, the problem is with a lot of influencers, they always come up with the new stuff, a new hit, a new demand, and new ideas, but it's never really proven. Is it safe to eat raw meat? Yeah, it is. I've been doing it for a very long time, probably close to 12 years. There's nothing wrong with it. As long as you have a very strong acidity gut, you're good. Duke, your egg's still warm, bud. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes you can have them. You have to be patient. You can't eat them hot. Hi Maurice, is it right to eat raw 21 days of aged meat? Yeah, it's actually gonna taste really good. Sometimes I get a aged piece of meat, and what my brother, because my brother is a chef, he will take the meat and he'll actually hang it for an additional 65 days. So it does have like a mold layer on one of the sides, and you actually trim that off and you can still eat it. It's 100% safe and it's super delicious. It does actually have like a nice soury to fermented kind of flavor, but it's amazing, seriously. Any supplements recommended carnivore diet? I do 1 pound of beef and 12 small eggs per day, OMAD. Supplements, it depends. It is based on what deficiency you've had and what your body requires to actually fulfill these missing gaps, right? It's not just taking supplementation random. Maybe you don't need supplementation. So sometimes it is good to actually get a blood test done to see what deficiencies you have. Especially, let's say, if you eat organs, for example. So all that stuff varies. What about parasites? There's no parasites. It's all a myth. As long as you have a strong enough gut, you're fine. If I was gonna get sick, I would have probably been sick 12, 13 years ago when I started doing this. So yeah, there's nothing to worry about parasite. As long as your acidity stays between 1.5 and 2, you're good. Bon appetit, Maurice. Hello, everyone. Any tips on leaky gut? Do an elimination diet, and you'll fix it. You'll repair it. At least you'll get better. It depends how bad it is and whether it's partially damaged or not. Sounds good. Might get a blood test soon. I just do the same Well, see, the thing is, OMAD technically shouldn't be practiced daily. Like I do it probably 6 months out of the year, OMAD, and the rest I go 2 meals a day, because what happens is sometimes we end up under eating, and sometimes we can actually cause issues with our thyroid not converting your T4 to T3 correctly, and suddenly your reverse T3 goes up high. So it's always good to rotate. Is veganism good? A diet is a diet. A lifestyle is a lifestyle based on your goals. It's not whether it's good or not. It's whether you're actually gonna fulfill the missing gaps. You can actually get a test for your stomach acid, but it's the way you feel. Like right now, I'm eating 1 pound of meat. I'm gonna have some raw fish, and I've had some eggs already with the meat. If I'm not burping, if I'm not belching, if I'm not having any gases 20 to 30 minutes to an hour after, that means your acid is strong enough to actually break down the food correctly. How I have redness and pressure behind my right ear. So you have pressure, too much pressure buildup. Why? Is it too much contraction, not enough relaxation? So too much calcium in the body, not enough magnesium, or your salt is way too high? EMF blocking. Do you have any companies that you feel comfortable like to use on your phone and stuff? I have these stickers on the back of my phone for the EMF. I don't know how well they work. Well, I can say maybe they do work a little bit better, because when I hold the phone in my hand tends to get warm because I have EMF sensitivity. So when I put these stickers on the back of the phone, I can hold the phone probably like for about 40 minutes before I actually feel it. So it does work not bad. Hi Maurice. Watching here in Yukon, eating eggs yolk raw or cooked triggers dermatitis. Any tips to fix that? Well, eggs and dairy are highly, they can cause different reactions in the body. So I would actually stay away from eggs for a bit, and or question the source of the eggs, because if the eggs are being fed corn or soy, that's going to end up being the issue. Yeah, I use them on my phone, and they actually, I bought them online. Maybe send me a message, I'll tell you which ones I got from Amazon. Maurice, are you feeling well? You don't look the same as your thumbnail. The thumbnail ones are, I actually have my dark beard. I'm still the same person. It's just a little bit enhanced in the picture. Probably it's all the AI stuff that makes things easier. How you been, Blaine? I hope you're doing good. I think Paul Saladino did a test and said the stickers aren't that good. Well, the only reason I say it's good because I know from holding the phone in my hand. That's the only reason. Like, I think the stickers were about $15 each. So I thought, you know what, I'll invest the $15 just to see exactly what they do. But no matter what, you still have to do, you still have to ground every single day, right? Thoughts on Chinese TCM medicine? What is that? Have a silicon dioxide. Yeah, I don't like the silicon dioxide. The silicon dioxide is an anti-caking agent. I don't like it. You can actually get some without. You can go with just pure vitamin C powder. It doesn't taste as bad. It's just a little bit citrusy, which is fine. Is it okay to feed cats cooked chicken? Not the bones, because there's a chance they can splinter and cause issues in their gut. They have to be raw. That's what, if raw is fine. I feed Duke only raw chicken, or mostly beef myself, because it's more dense nutrient. This is for Duke. I have to cook the eggs for him. That's the only thing that I cook for him because he doesn't do good. On eggs and liver, I have to cook it for him. It's still hot, buddy. Give it like 1 more minute. The plate's still warm. I don't want you to throw up. Silicon dioxide, titanium dioxide, magnesium stearate, all no good. I think the vitamin C supplement is natural acerola cherry. Yes, true. Acerola cherry is one of the best. Expensive, but it is worth it. You don't get as much. The problem is, you know, you can still use the ascorbic acid they have as long as it does not contain anything, as long as it's pure. It's still not bad. It doesn't cause any oxidative damage or anything to the system, which is fine. Dr. Ian Bilger's Barf Diet for Dogs. All I feed, yeah, you can definitely look him up. All I feed Duke is raw meat. He gets liver. He gets a lot of eggs. Same eggs amount as me, anywhere between 3 to 6 eggs every single day. NACET supplements you might recommend? What do you mean by NACET? So now we're gonna have some raw fish. This is sable fish, or it goes by the name of black cod. So it's nice and wiggly. It's been room temperature since yesterday. This is for my second meal. You can put salt on top to actually, you know, cure it or dry it out from the water. Oops. What's your opinion on eating based on your culture? As a Hispanic, we eat a lot of rice, corn, green beans. There's a lot of inflammation there. The problem is, nobody truly knows what our history is based on our culture. Our cultures, whether your culture or my culture or many others, I think it's all been made up by the upper class so they control different groups and do different testing. It's like having a farm where you have chicken living in the east and you have chicken living in the west. Hey, let's feed the chicken in the east grains, and let's feed the chicken in the west, let's give them some corn and soy and see what happens. And I think the whole world has been pretty much cut off into so many different places and said, okay, if you're from the Middle East, your main dish is going to be Mediterranean. If you're Spanish, your main dish is going to be white rice and others. I think all that stuff is made up bullshit to actually confuse us as a human being. I think we should all stick to what is our main biological food? Meat. Because you want to actually eat that food and feel great and optimize. If we're still going to be using food as entertainment, that's the biggest issue we have. How much taurine to start a day with? Take 1 gram. I'm going to take one soon. So you take about 1 gram. So there's a fish. I cut it nice and thin with my special knife. And so this fish here, I don't cook it. It's about 50% high in omega-3s. And all I do is I cure it, I leave it room temperature, and I actually eat it raw. And it's one of the best delicious fish out there. If you actually go back in history, you know, you're going to find a lot of groups that, you know, what we've been told about our culture and everything, it's all made up. It's all made up to keep us sick. Seriously, it's like a testing zone. Every zone they have different groups they test on us. Okay, Duke, let me feed this to Duke. Come. There you go. Go eat it, bud. Enjoy it. What supplements do you take in the morning? So the only reason I take some of these supplements is not because I'm not getting them on a carnivore diet or not. It's because due to my previous chronic issue and decades of abuse on my body that I'm trying to repair. So the supplements I take are mostly, everything that I take actually is mostly aimed toward my heart more than anything. So a supplement I'm taking while I'm kind of eating, I take about 5 different types of supplements just all related to my heart. Do you deworm when you eat raw fish? No, I don't. Duke, that was too quick, bud. You just swallowed the whole 3 eggs just like that? That fish, it is wild. They're not, you're never gonna find them farmed at all, and of course I don't recommend, but I actually get them from Vancouver. They ship them to me. When I go fishing here, I didn't go fishing this year, but I'm hoping I'm gonna buy a kayak and go fishing. And usually we have like lake trouts and others, but this sable fish, I get it, sable fish, or it goes by the name of black cod. I get it from Vancouver, but there's lots of this in the States too. This raw fish I'm having, let me show you guys. So this is how it looks like. This is a raw fish, if you guys can see it. It is sable fish, or black cod. They call it black cod. It's very rich in essential fatty acids, actually. It's very fatty fish. Does taking supplements for a long-term basis affect the liver or any other organ negatively? Should we stop some while and restart? It depends on your detoxification system. You can definitely keep an eye on your liver enzymes and your kidney enzymes, like your AST, ALT, GFR, carnitine, F2 isoprostane. These are your most important enzymes to see whether they're actually being overstimulated or not. The problem is with the fish, if you cook it, omega-3 is very delicate and it could actually oxidize very fast. Now, why do people eat fish? To get the omega-3s, but if you're actually cooking the fish too much, you can actually oxidize the omega-3. So it's better to actually eat it raw, like a sushi style. And I'm not a huge thing on sushi, because sushi, they always use freaking farmed fish, not like real wild fish like this one. Mike Oxlin from UK. Hey Mike, how are you? Recommendation for post-heart attack stent placement. Well, your diet has to change. And what is the most vitamin out there that will actually supercharge your heart, your mitochondria? Beef heart. So make sure you're eating a lot of beef heart. You need the coenzyme Q10. Maurice, why is it so hard to stick to a carnivore diet? Willpower doesn't always help. Are there you know, the problem is we all got used to the idea of using food as entertainment, and you have to use food to actually satisfy your need and feel optimized. See, when I eat raw meat, or I eat meat in general, or eggs, throughout the day I'm feeling optimized, I feel great, I sleep well, I wake up with excellent cognitive function, I feel amazing. The moment I would eat carbohydrates or start to eat a variety, we start to kind of feel sick and we start to kind of go downhill. So the question is, it's not whether it's hard to stick with it or not. We have to kind of remove the concept, the idea from our brain that we're using food to actually socialize with and entertain with. We should only use it to actually get satisfied, feel our best, and move on. And if you're missing that you're constantly falling off the carnivore, that means you're not eating enough, you're under eating, and you're not eating enough fats to keep you satiated. And you have to give it time for your body to adjust. You need to give it time for your body to actually trust you. Because if you're only on a carnivore diet for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you say, oh, this is boring, I'm going to go back to something else. It's not about willpower. It's about listening to your body and let the body give you the signs that, you know, that you are actually healing and you're feeling your best. Yeah, I'm not worried, Blaine. I'm not worried about parasites or anything. And usually the fish, the sable fish, I freeze it for about a week before I kind of consume it. How often do you eat organs? Whenever I get a chance, I get them. So I just ordered 10 pounds of liver. I try to eat organs as much as I could if I can get a hold of them. I'd like to have some every day. If I don't, then I would actually have, like, say, once a week or twice a week, I would have a large amount. But it's a hit and miss. What about getting parasites on carnivore? There's no parasites on carnivore. Let's give this to Duke. The skin. He likes it actually because it's good with omega-3s. You want it, Duke? Hold on. Let's switch the camera so you guys can see Duke. There's Duke. That was quick, my friend. Was it good? Yeah? Okay. Are brains of an animal also good too? I saw it, and yeah, oh yeah, 100%. If you can get your hands on the brains or oysters or anything like that, oh, 100%, they're the best. Hello, Maurice. What to do when you have difficulty sleeping because of cravings at night on carnivore? Did you watch my last video on sleep switch? You should watch it. Because I thought, if you do wake up at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, obviously you're either not eating enough fat or you're not actually getting enough salt in your diet so you can actually cause proper volume control. We're going to go play with Duke outside soon as I'm done eating. I was making some bone broth as well too, but we'll have that till next meal. It's good for high pulse rate with congestive heart failure, coenzyme Q10 and mitochondria. It's all about your mitochondria, but the problem is the high heart rate, that means your volume is very low, and the volume usually is controlled by how much salt you're consuming, and that becomes a big issue. How long did you cure the fish? It's been about 4.5 hours. It was frozen before. I get the fish, they're usually frozen for about 6-7 days. And when I cure it, I put salt on it only. I like 4-6 hours to kind of dry it up. Some people, they like overnight. I don't like to do the overnight thing. Sometimes I find that it dries it up too much. So I like the way I eat it 4-6 hours. But as a beginning, if you're just starting, you can do like overnight, like 12 hours. My partner has improved his diet. 1 year carnivore and also now addition to taurine. Nice, and thanks to you. Yeah, no problem. And now I'm gonna actually, like, after I'm done my meal, I haven't finished my meal. I still have. So I had 1 pound of yak with 3 egg yolks and 3 egg white cooked on the side, and I've had 1/2 of the raw fish, and I'm gonna have a piece of brie cheese. So that's my daily food intake that I actually consume, and that's only 1 meal. So when I say to a lot of you guys that you are under eating, you are seriously under eating on a carnivore diet if you're only having, like, say, 1/2 pound and couple eggs. That's not enough to actually keep you satiated and give you the energy so you can actually be able to function correctly. You drink coffee or never? Oh, I still drink coffee. I do stop it, but I don't rely on it. Because, once you destimulate your body from all that chemical stuff, you walk away from coffee. But now when I drink it more of, a nice warm drink. I did try the mushroom coffee for a bit. At the end, I didn't really feel good from it, so I stopped it completely. I haven't had it probably for almost, I don't know, a year. Is HCs high in histamine? Yes, it is. It depends on the cheeses as well too. So there's my brie. I actually keep it on the stove while I'm actually eating my fish, so it's like nice and melted. I like it. It has a nice flavor actually, and it's very high in fat. So this piece of brie here is probably about 50 grams of fat. So now if you kind of add everything up together what I've ate, I'm getting close to about a 2, maybe a 2.5 ratio to 1 to protein for the fat. How do you feel about raw egg yolk? I just ate three raw egg yolks. I have about anywhere between 6 to 10 a day. So there's a cheese. For high pulse rate, I would use a little bit less salt. And I would use a little bit more magnesium. Can you get clogged pores in your skin from being fat saturated? No. No, that's a detoxification issue. Nothing to do with saturated fat. Yeah, you can mix. If you're able to tolerate the eggs and the cheese and the meat all together, then yeah, that's fine. If you're just starting carnivore, I wouldn't really do that process because you actually have to eat them separately and see how your body reacts. But if your body does not react and you feel good, then you can definitely have them that way. I always do. But you know what works for me might not work for you, so you have to kind of adjust. Hi Maurice, what would be your best advice for getting in shape, for losing the weight in excess 15-20 kilograms at the age of 50-60 and maintain a healthy weight? It depends on your diet. Everything goes back to your diet. How many meals a day you eat, how often you do intermittent fasting, what does your food consist of, etc. If you're following a carnivore diet, we'll have to actually fine-tune your protein intake and fat intake, but it all depends on what you're consuming. So that's it. That's my last bite of my first meal. So right now what we do is I usually wait about 15 minutes. Then I will actually have my taurine and glycine because we want to cause more intracellular hydration. We want to make sure all the fat we consumed, we're going to hydrate ourselves so we're not drinking water just so we can actually hydrate our guts. And this is how you can actually create better bile flow. So you can actually break down the fats you consumed as well too. What is the downside of low carb, high protein, and low fat? Sleep, cognitive function, hormonal, thyroid, muscle pain, prone to injuries. We do need the fat to actually making sure everything is good, especially for cognitive function and everything else, and especially for bile flow. So you still have to have some type of fat. We cannot just go completely zero fat. Now the only reason I do put certain individuals on zero fat, if they are overweight or they have an issue with their ApoB being oxidized. In the beginning I do that to kind of get them used to the idea. Then after that I will put them back again on a ratio of 2 to 1 for the fat. Can your pores in your skin get clogged from being fat adapted? No, they shouldn't. Fat adapted compared to like pores being clogged, that has nothing to do with it. Your skin is being clogged. This is something to do with your lymphatic system, or your bile is not working as good as it should. And another issue people will get that is from too much coagulation possibly, where they're mixing or they're consuming way too much fat that is actually conflicting with the glucose uptake. But all that stuff happens because of your sleep, because of your hormones, because of certain things aren't actually staying balanced, which is electrolyte. I'm done 2400 milligrams of magnesium before bed. Should I do more? No, you don't want to do all at once. You want to actually cut it out throughout the day. And that 2400 milligrams before bed is not all magnesium elemental. That could be probably magnesium elemental mixed with a salt of glycinate or other form. So it doesn't mean you're taking 2400 milligrams of magnesium. No, you're probably taking maybe 10% of that, and the rest is just could be glycine. Your Substack and ebooks are incredibly valuable. Your knowledge is superior to any MD. Please, everyone, donate whatever you can. He can continue doing these lives, helping, sharing his knowledge with us. Thank you, Anne, for putting that out there. I really appreciate you for it. And guys, don't forget, I'm going to be launching my school soon. I was going to either do it today or tomorrow, but everybody will get an email, and hopefully you guys can actually join, and we can actually have different chats and different ideas. Sorry, didn't get your answer. Can your pores? No, they cannot be blocked by fat. Send me a message. I'll send you some information on it. Do you pay any attention to net carbs, or just treat total carbs the same? I'm not. If you are following like a ketogenic diet, or you are adding some carbohydrates, you have to kind of listen to your body. Some people like to say, okay, I've had that much net carbs and that much. It's not about that. It's at the end of the day how you feel. What's your insulin like? What's your fasting glucose? What's your HbA1c drafting towards? So you have to kind of question these more than just be picky and start saying, okay, I've had 20 carbs a day, tomorrow I'm going to have 30, okay, the day after I'm going to have 40 based on my body response. But at the end of the day, biomarkers will actually give you more of an accurate reading than you just sitting there punching numbers and seeing what would work and what doesn't. Welcome to Circulation Champions. Hi, mate. Soreness in both hands and elbows, assuming autoimmune, rheumatoid arthritis. What supplements on Carnivore? Soreness or stiffness, because that's usually a magnesium deficiency, and on Carnivore we end up overusing magnesium quite a bit. Are you give some olive oil or MCT when you eat rice or carbohydrates? I don't use olive oil. Sometimes I would use MCT on coffee and stuff once in a while, but you can definitely use it on because there is a C8 or a C10. You can use it on rice, on white rice, so it actually prevents your insulin from over spiking. So if you want to control it better, yes, you can do that. What do you think of desiccated liver capsules? All natural. They're okay. I'd rather eat liver than to actually get anything processed that I can do it myself, buy liver and actually freeze it and eat it, or eat it the way it is. I'd rather do that than to actually take a supplement. The problem is, you always wonder, where are these guys getting their desiccated liver from? Is it coming from China? Is it coming from their herd where they're making it? So sometimes it's more of a trust issue more than anything. What are your favorite source of fiber? Zero. I don't eat any fiber, Blaine. Plus, we don't need fiber when you're actually fat adapted or anything, because you have enough bile to actually produce proper movement and everything. Fiber, I would say, in the summertime, I get about 1 cup of blueberries from my wild blueberry plant. That's the only 1 cup that I have all year long. But throughout the winter or throughout the season, I don't have any, just strictly high fat. Hi, any supplements to take post-pregnancy? Any other advice, please? Post-pregnancy? It depends. The thing is, guys, you don't want to take things blindly just because we've heard this, that's what we should do for pregnancy or other things. The problem is, pay attention to your diet. As long as you're eating what is meant for a human being to eat, then there's no point of adding other supplementation. But as well, getting a blood test to see what deficiencies you have, whether you do require some methylcobalamin or folate, because we don't tend to eat as much liver, then you can definitely add them. But don't add things just because we've heard they're good for us. It's all based on your body. It's all based on what your body requires. It doesn't mean more is better. So there's you have to kind of listen to your body and kind of pay attention to the food you're consuming. I'd rather you stick with the food than to actually add synthetic supplements. I've been taking magnesium a long time. Do you eat butter and Greek yogurt? I will start to make my own maybe kefir down the road when I get a goat. I don't have good access to them. I don't have good access to butter either. I don't like to eat too much liquid fat, rendered fat. I rather stick with solid fats more. Stiffness and redness on the fingers is definitely RA, possibly. Do you take tatka for what? No, I don't. For liver support, not really. Thoughts on canned fish? I'm not a huge fan of anything processed or anything packaged or anything in cans. Some people like it because that's all we have access to. Then go for it. I'm not a huge fan. So the problem is, they get the sardines, they put them in a stupid can and they cook them. Are we actually getting the full omega-3s like they claim? Are we actually getting any heavy metals or not? We don't know. And I can't really trust a lot of big corporations. There's a lot of bullshit out there, guys. If you do find a good company, by all means, make sure you check certificate of analysis, do a test, check your omega-6 to omega-3, making sure that product is working. And if it is showing some positivity, then fine. That means it's good. But if it doesn't show positivity, don't just spend money just because people are talking about it. Another question about organs. Are they a necessity on a carnivore diet? If you can't stand the taste? Well, if you can't stand the taste, don't force your body, right? I always say this to everybody. You just have to see how you feel, whether you need them or not. Now, for example, when you have liver, you're going to have abundance of vitamin A and you're going to have abundance of copper. You're not getting copper and vitamin A from your other meat cuts, then sometimes that could cause a deficiency. Same thing with eating beef heart. You're going to get your most rich from beef heart is coenzyme Q10 for your ATP for your heart muscle. So you have to kind of decide, how your body's feeling, what deficiencies you actually have, and whether you should add them or not. If you're buying good quality cuts of grass-fed, grass-finished, and you're doing a test and everything seems to be superior, then there's no point of adding organs. Like you see let's say Sean Baker, for example, he doesn't add any organs at all to his diet. He's getting some good quality cuts of meat, and he doesn't need to add organs. So it depends where you're getting your source from. It depends what you're eating, how often you're eating, and everything. So it all depends. We can't compare one person to another. Livers of chicken are easy digestible. I'm not a huge fan of anything to do with chicken unless it's pasture raised. It's one of the highly inflammatory bird out there. Other than me eating their eggs, I won't touch them. And I can't find any good pasture raised. I haven't had any for like 12 years. So if you can find some good quality chicken, go for it. So I'm going to have my taurine and glycine. Hi Maurice, what is the best way to avoid the flu and keep the immune system? NAC, vitamin D, lumbrokinase or nerokinase as well would be good. I'm a huge fan of NAC. Where do you get your eggs? I have 10 chickens. I'm getting 10 chickens this summer, so I'm gonna have 20 chickens. I'm gonna show you my chicken coop. Magnesium glycinate thought out of the day, of the high pulse. How much magnesium glycinate through the day? So you want to take about 200 milligrams first dose, 200 milligrams second dose, and about 400 milligrams before you sleep. Because if you take higher dose of magnesium glycinate during the daytime, you'll end up feeling sleepy. What did you just take? I took taurine, 1000 milligrams, and I took a glycine, 3000 milligrams. The only reason I took glycine because I don't have any collagen. I was supposed to have like some bone broth, but it's not done yet. So I end up having a little bit of glycine because I do need it. So what's gonna happen now, within about half hour or so, my whole body is gonna start to actually heat up. That means all the fats I consumed is actually now working for my benefit. Okay, we're gonna go outside, Duke. Do you eat any fatty ground meat? Any fatty ground meat? The meat that I have is yak meat. So it is quite lean. It's roughly about 80-20 or 90-10. So that's why I add some cheese. Sometimes I would add a little bit lamb fat. I would add a couple egg yolks just so I can actually make it a little bit fatty, because it's not as fatty. And if I don't do that, I'm not gonna be satisfied. I can probably sit and eat another pound if I don't add eggs and cheese. And I really don't want to overdo it on the protein. Would rather have a little bit more fat. Please answer my above question. What was your question? All it says is vitamin C. Vitamin C with a exclamation mark. I don't know what is your question. Do I take vitamin C or do we need vitamin C? On a carnivore, if you eat raw, you don't need vitamin C because we don't actually lose as much vitamin C as being on a high carbohydrate diet. Is lysine good for the heart? Lysine is supposed to actually help with the lipoprotein small a. Taurine and glycine can be added to any diet. If so, how much intake? Yeah, at least 1 gram of taurine because it's going to help with the bile flow. And the glycine is going to help with intracellular hydration. So yeah, you can definitely add it, but it has to be about 15 minutes after your food intake. Are you eat butter I don't eat butter, no. I don't do good on butter, unfortunately. Due to my damaged... I'm coming, Duke. I'm going to put my socks on. Due to my damaged receptors for the LDL, I don't do good on butter. Do you eat bacon? No, I don't touch bacon. Bacon is very similar to chicken. They're not done correctly or fed properly. Thoughts on rendered lamb fat? What about it? I cook with rendered lamb fat lots. I like it because it's better essential fatty acid ratio compared to beef. So lamb would always be my number 1 choice and beef would be my number 2 choice. What to do for headaches? You're not consuming enough salt, but you're getting a lot of headaches. Lack of proper volume, because salt will enhance the volume. After childbirth, is vitamin D, magnesium, taurine, and glycine and vitamin C good, or should I stop temporary? There's no point of stopping. These are actually part of your lifestyle. They're not synthetic for you to stop. They're not chemicals. They're just part of your lifestyle. Because if you're getting enough of them from food, you have to take a supplement. It's not going to hurt you. Vitamin D is actually a hormone. It's going to help. Taurine and glycine, they're amino acids. They're going to help with bile and help with hydration. We do get them from food. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's no point of stopping any. So they should be all safe for you. Is nice and flush good? Yeah, it is good. It vasodilates your arteries. It allows more oxygen flow. And at the same time, it balances your cholesterol level, especially if there's anything being oxidized. 100%. I'm out of niacin right now. I think I get my niacin probably today or tomorrow. Duke, wait, let me get my gloves. It's cold. I'll show you guys my chicken coop too. I don't know, whoever asked me earlier, how much sleep do you get? About 6 hours, between 5 and 6 hours. So today I had 6 hours, yesterday I had 4 hours, so it varies. But when I sleep, I go into heavy deep sleep. So I get about an hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep. I get minimum about an hour and 15 minutes of REM sleep. Now there's certain days I don't get any, because Duke wakes me up. And the problem is with Duke, He wakes me up in the middle of the night and he wants to go outside or he hears something. And that's the only reason I get interrupted. It's a little bit chilly today. Can you eat ghee or cultured butter? I don't eat any of them. I don't eat no ghee or butter. I don't do good on them, unfortunately. For other people, you can definitely eat them. You can probably feel great on them. Do you think about butyric acid from colostrum with coffee as an example? Yeah, you can use that. The butyric acid is good from butter. You're going to get quite a bit and it's going to help your gut. That would be like a first choice. And if you want to mix it, you can mix it with coffee. Let's see. We're going to go down to the chicken coop. Hopefully I don't lose signal. Because every time I get there, I lose signal. But I'm getting a new internet. I ordered the Starlink yesterday. Because now they have it available on this location. So I'm hoping my internet would be better. And I can walk around the whole property. Do you take B complex? I only take B complex if I don't eat liver or organs. Then I would actually consume a specific type of vitamin B complex. Yes. But it doesn't mean like you have to consume a lot of these supplements daily, all based on your diet. So if there's certain things you're not getting from your diet, you can definitely do that. Do you have kids? I have one kid lives overseas. I haven't seen him for almost 12 years now. There's my chicken behind me. If you guys can see them. They're there waiting for me to give them some stuff. Let's go see if we have any eggs. I'm a little bit early. Usually I don't actually go inside their chicken coop till another hour or so. But let's check on them. Do you use beef tallow? I do use beef tallow, yeah, when I cook the eggs. Oh, we only got 2 eggs. We're gonna wait. And we're gonna wait. It's still early. We'll give them some time. Because usually they'll hatch most of them. They'll lay most of these eggs before 12. And it's only about 9:30 right now. After B complex, I get a burning feeling. Is that good or bad? That burning feeling is from niacin. It's like a flush red burning feeling. Have you lost any chickens to the squad? No, I haven't. I have, I had 6 chickens first. Then one of my neighbor, she gave me a rooster. And then about, what is it now? Maybe 2 months ago or a month ago, she has 3 chickens because I used to get my eggs from her. So she gave me her 3 chickens. They haven't been laying every day. They only lay like twice a week only. But I have a total of 10 chickens. So 9 laying hens and 1 rooster. And I want to get 6 more laying hens so I can have like a total of, I don't know, between 12 and 14 eggs every day. So I'm going to actually expand this summer. I'll probably expand the chicken coop a little bit. Are the chickens cold? No, they don't get cold. And you should never use like a heating lamp or a heater because that actually weakens their immune system. They have enough fur on them like to actually maintain their body temperature. And what I do is every night I feed them a couple pieces of fat with peppers. So it actually keeps our body nice and warm and insulated. No, these chickens are just for laying eggs. When they stop laying eggs, I'll actually feed them to Duke. He can have fun with them. But it's still early. I still get like probably 7 years from these chickens. I eat chicken while on carnivore, but I make sure I eat the skin. The problem is with chicken, they're not dense nutrient. So you can have like a full kilogram of chicken and eat it and everything. Probably 20, 30 minutes later or an hour later, you're hungry again because they're not satisfying and they don't have that much density and nutrient levels. So that's why I don't really eat them. Yeah, most of the chickens, like a lot of these chicken, the red kind, they can actually last about 6-7 years of laying. Duke, it's a little bit chilly, man. I'm going inside. What's the temperature today? Feels much colder than yesterday. Let's check the temperature. Yes, it's like 90% humidity, 90% moisture. No wonder it's freaking cold. It's only -2 degrees. Wow. Only -2. Next week is supposed to be like really cold. We're gonna get like hit with -15 and -18. It's gonna be like ice cold. Maurice, I'm taking the ribose, hawthorn berry, L-carnitine, ubiquinol, omega-3, fish oil, all to improve heart function. What else? What else I need? So you got D-ribose, hawthorn, L-carnitine. These are like your most ubiquinol. Probably the only thing you would need is something to boost your ATP, your mitochondria. So what activates your mitochondria? Raw egg yolks, a bright white as soon as you wake up, because your eyes will tell your body, hey, it's time to actually wake up and make some proper ATP levels. Enough electrolytes to support your body would be your only missing ones. And following a good diet, because it doesn't mean if you're taking supplementation, we forget the diet. The diet plays a huge role in this. Look, give me 10 minutes. I have lesion on my right thyroid. What to do? The question is, why is it there and how did it start? You know, you always have to question the food, because whatever you're consuming, you're either feeding a disease or you're preventing one. So obviously, whatever you've done in the past, you've obviously caused some kind of reaction or issue that you activated some type of hormone with your thyroid. Sometimes it could be from being estrogenic dominant. Five minutes, Duke. I'm on carnivore. Okay, that's good. As long as you're on the carnivore, make sure you keep your variety to 1 or 3 ingredients. That's it. Don't overdo it. I have 12 hens that lay eggs. They slow down in the winter. Okay. No, see these ones, they haven't slowed down yet. They still kind of give me the same amount of eggs. So the only thing is that I do in the summertime compared to the wintertime. In the summertime, I feed them more fat, and I give them liver. So all the leftover tentacles, liver, fat, all that stuff, I actually save it up, and I actually feed it to the chicken. But every day, I will cut them up, and I'll put a lot of hot peppers, and that actually warms up their body. So the whole idea is these chickens, they actually have to have proper circulation. Proper circulation will continue giving you the same amount of eggs even in the winter time. Thoughts on training late in the evening? You could work out late in the evening. The problem is your recovery is going to crash. So let's say you should actually be in a recovery zone of at least 80% when you check every morning. And if you're actually usually depends on your age, but usually if you work out too late in the evening, your recovery won't be as good. So sometimes it will force you to take the next day off. So make sure the training works the same way as you eat your food. You're supposed to be having your last meal about 3-4 hours before you sleep, and the same idea with training. If you're doing a zone 2, it's a different story, but if you're doing, like, say, heavy lifting and stuff, it has to be at least 3-4 hours before you sleep, or else your recovery will drop quite a bit. And that becomes an issue, because if your recovery drops, technically you should not be working out the next day. But a lot of people, they push themselves. They think they're doing their body good, but you're actually injuring your system, and you're causing more nervous system issues. So make sure the training is not too late. Like right now, for me, if I'm gonna train right now, I haven't checked my recovery yet today, I would actually check my recovery. If my recovery is over 80, I will work out. If my recovery is at 75, I'm off by 5%, I would do a zone 2. And by doing a zone 2 of about 20 minutes, I'll increase my recovery up to 80%. A friend needs a kidney transplant. Do you think a transplant can be prevented at this point if he were to transition? Possibly. A person can live off one kidney if he has one kidney that's actually working correctly and the filtration is working, because what actually kills the kidneys is mostly fructose. Hi there, first time here. I'm so happy to find this chat. I always try to do it right by my body, so this chat is ideal for me. Thank you. No problem. I appreciate you showing up, and welcome to the community. Hey Duke, we're playing. Where is Duke? He's part of this community. Where is he? Oh, there he is. You guys see him? Look, he has his ball with him. He's ready to play. And it's freezing cold today. I'm cold. There's my big view. The mountain is covered again by clouds. There's my chickens there. They're probably hungry. Duke, when the moisture is so high, you can actually feel your jeans are sticking to your skin. Come, here, get it. It's funny because you're inside, it's almost like plus 20 degrees because I have the wood stove on. Are cancers similar to breast cancer genetic? Cancer is not a genetic. Cancer is all related to the diet you're consuming. And what's causing these coagulations and issues in the body is all the environment. But eventually they claim that at least 1 out of 3 people will have cancer after the year of 2030 because we get hit with so much environmental toxins. And the problem is if you can't really detoxify correctly, on top of that, add the stress, add the depression, add the food, add everything, and that's why a lot of people are starting to have so much cancer. Add the EMF and add everything. None of us are actually doing what we're meant to do. Stay outside, enjoy life, and work as little as possible. Now it's almost the opposite. We work so hard to actually pay our bills and do everything, and yet we barely give our body time to heal. Can I eat chicken liver raw? Maybe. If they are pasture raised, yes. If they're not, I wouldn't. Is the COVID vaccine too? And the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, this is the starter of the vaccination. We'll see what's going to happen in the next couple of years, how many more vaccinations we're going to be forced to get. I'm glad that most of us never got it. We need to get you a warm beanie skull cap so you can stay warm when you're outside. It's not bad. Today is different. I've been actually spending most of the time outside, but today the temperature has completely shifted. Yesterday we had some chemtrail. We haven't had chemtrail for almost a month here, and today the weather feels like so wet, and it's supposed to actually get colder. Like I never usually get that cold here, but it's getting like minus 15 with high 98 moisture, humidity. That's insane. What should your normal oxygen level be above 95? 90 should be at least 98%. If it's below 98%, your actually circulation is being depleted. So yeah, it should be at least 98. And having movement is very, very important. Like other than me walking outside, I do quite a bit on my Rogue bike here. I do 20 minutes twice a day. After every meal, post meal, because you do want to circulate the chylomicron in your guts as well for better LDL receptors and clearance. And sometimes me and Duke will walk all the way down to the bottom and come back up, but I can't take the phone with me. I actually will lose the signal. Also giving babies and kids so many vaccinations. That's going to be like a new law. Every baby's born is going to get the vaccination. Or else they have the right, the government, to take the kid away from you, the baby away from you. They're coming up with that law. It's going to be written soon. and it's gonna pass in a lot of the countries. If I train on morning only after espresso with MCT, after that I should eat 30-40 grams for a small load. And when should I start eat steak, eggs? About 90 minutes after your workout would be ideal. Usually we say you have a 30-minute window for any glycogen refuel, and you have a 90-minute window for you to actually have a good meal, steak and eggs. But the question is whether you need the carbohydrate or not. If you don't need the carbohydrate, then I would get home and make your meal, and actually, you can have your steak and eggs, because your essential amino acids are going to be the building blocks of your muscle. The glycogen, all you're doing is just refueling the glycogen storage so you can recover better. But if you're actually eating enough protein to actually cause gluconeogenesis, then pretty much you can skip that. So it all depends on your diet, food intake, and all that. And 30-40 grams is ideal. You don't need more than that. Even 20 grams would be plenty enough. You want to come in for 5 minutes? No, not yet? Okay. Come. No? Okay. I'm going to have some water. I'm thirsty. Just got to take my shoes off. MCT oil gives a soft stool. You're taking too much. If MCT oil is giving you a soft stool because it's antibacterial, antifungal, so you're taking too much, your body's not used to it, so that kind of gives you that diarrhea effect. You have to start with like a half a teaspoon and work your way up. And it depends on the form of the MCT oil. There's MCT8. You have to start with a half a teaspoon. MCT 8 and 10, you can start with a teaspoon. It just depends on the kind. So yeah, that will cause the diarrhea. It's not a bad thing. It's just your body is not used to it, and because it does have some antifungal effect. What are your favorite habits to keep cortisol optimal? Don't overdrink coffee. Don't take salt after 4 p.m. Consume enough fat to actually keep you satiated and not actually wake up in the middle of the night. And if you are under extreme stress and your mind is going at 100 miles an hour, which doesn't happen to me anymore since I've been on a carnivore for a long time. But if it does happen, then you can take glycine and you can take L-theanine. These will actually have calming effect on the nervous system. Or if you don't have any of that stuff, you can just close your eyes and pray. And that's the most probably relaxing moment if you believe and you have a strong faith. How do you deal with friends, family not understanding your diet, on being worried about you while you are doing? Oh, they all know what I do. Like even on Christmas, I went back to the city, and we were having Christmas at my brother, and everybody's eating cookies and cakes and everything. All I ate was about 4 pounds of meat and turkey. That's it. And I was more than happy and satisfied. Nobody questions it. Everybody asked me, hey, don't you want to have a little cheat? Not really, because I know the effect of it on my health and my body. So I enjoy eating the meat, I enjoy eating the turkey, and it was super amazing. And I had a lot of cheeses too. During your school, can you help us analyze a drink water report to determine if water source is unhealthy or for our... Oh yeah, 100%. See, during the school timing, when you guys join and we do the live, keep in mind, we're going to be running this as a full community. So it's almost like we're going to eliminate some of the consultations I do, and I will be focusing more on the school time where I can help each one of you guys one by one, so we can be working together on a lot of these things. Mix salt with... I don't mix salt in my water. I actually like to take the salt and chew it. That's what I like to do. What's the best way to get rid of a Baker cyst, left leg, back of knee, currently experiencing sharp pain, even thought icing. So sharp pain in the back leg where the knee is. I'll have to see what that could be from. Sharp pain. So what is it? Blood flow? Is it oxalate dumping? Could be many things. What's the reason for joint pain if it's not oxalates? It is oxalates. It's always going to be oxalates. To get rid of the pain, you can't really get rid of the pain other than magnesium, because if it is a bone pain, so it's usually a deficiency of magnesium, vitamin K, vitamin D, and boron. Or instead of using boron, you can use, what the hell is that product name? The cleaning supply that I tell you guys about. You can use borax. It's all about the family. Oh, it is all about the family gathering. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I love it. That's why I drove 8 hours to the city to spend it with the family. I was there for almost like 6 days. It was incredible. You know, I love my family and everything. You know, I respect what they eat. They respect what I eat. And, you know, like I said, we don't use food as entertainment. You know, we use food to actually satisfy our needs. Some of us still young, they want to use food as socializing and entertainment. That's fine. I respect everybody's decision on that, 100%. You know, whether they eat vegan, whether they stuff their faces in sweets and ice cream and cakes, and I stuff my face in a lot of the meat. So, you know, each one of us has a unique way of expressing ourselves and stuff, and that's how we eat. Are you married? I think I was married once. That's all I can tell you. I notice on Carnivore your viral signs fluctuate more. They do. You become more sensitive. Absolutely true, Maurice. 100%. 100%. You know, sometimes in life we find ourselves where we function are optimal living alone or living with, let's say, your pet, your dog, your best friend, your little furry son, right? And that's, you know, everybody tells me, like, Maurice, don't you get depressed here, or don't you get kind of feel lonely? I have the most beautiful view beside me here, and all I care for is, you know, waking up every morning feeling happy. If I'm going to constantly live in my back life, that means I'm never going to be advancing forward. And I like to build a few things. I don't know how many of you guys been to my previous videos, but I built the shed this year here, so I have all that wood cut out. I'm running out of lumber, so I have to cut some more. There's my little tiny house that I built with a deck. I attached the trailer because I couldn't sell it, so I attached it instead of me building a new bathroom and everything. Got my chicken coop this year, so we're moving along. I just got meniscus tear. Any tips to help recover it? Depends where. Well, it's not whether where. We have to kind of look into it a little bit more in depth to see how bad it is. Is having chicken soup good done for over a few hours? Only if the chickens are pasture raised. Again, if the chickens are not pasture raised, I would never touch them, to be honest with you. Very highly inflammatory. Very highly inflammatory. Looks like a beautiful life with Duke Maurice. You have a lot to keep you busy right now. I do. It is. It keeps me busy. Every day we spend at least 2 hours cleaning the snow, looking after the chicken, cutting some trees, fixing the place. You know, it's funny. You live on a farm like this or off grid. There's always something you do every single day. It never ends. So you think your day finished. It's not. There's always something. And on top of that, I'm doing the lives. Then I do the video, the shorts. Then I do the long video for you guys. And I have constant appointments with people. So it's almost, it keeps me busy all day. Egg yolk raw is safe. Yes, German safety standard. I seem to have skin problems from egg whites. Yes, egg white. That's why you always have to cook the egg white. And even though you cook the egg white, you're still having problem. That's where most of the allergic reaction comes from. They actually contain a specific type of protein that our bodies cannot really tolerate as well. What meats or organs do you eat mainly? For the meat is meat, the way I look at it. I cannot afford to buy a ribeye steak or anything, so all my meat, they're either ground beef, ground yak, or I buy roasts. And all the roasts I buy, I just cut them into like small steaks. And for organs, one of my favorite organs has always been beef tongue, and my second is going to be liver. Is having boiled eggs for breakfast good for only meat or only... No, you can have boiled eggs in the morning, just don't overcook the yolk. Make sure you actually boil the water. You stick the egg in the boiling water for about 6 minutes. You take it out and you cool it down right away, so this way the egg white is fully cooked, but the egg yolk is quite raw. Maurice is living in a paradise place along with Duke is a cure for everything, especially mental health. Oh, 100%. You know, I always tell this to everybody. If the environment you lived in got you sick, what makes you think that same environment is going to actually heal you? So you definitely have to take a step and go somewhere where you can actually heal your body. Do you have any problems with having chickens like worms, parasites, and disease? Do you have any problems with having chickens? Well, the chickens, like you're talking about my chickens here, having diseases, as long as you're actually maintaining them and you're actually keeping their proper diet intake, not like the standard corporate feed they give, then yeah, you can definitely maintain the chicken in a healthy environment and prevent any type of issues or diseases or parasites. 100%. My cholesterol is higher since starting carnivore. Of course, that's standard, which everyone says is normal, except my triglycerides are very high. Okay, so if that's the case, your ratio is 3.5, that is a bit high. So you have an issue with the clearance. You're over-consuming fats, and your body's not actually utilizing the fats. So you have issue with your clearance. So that clearance can actually eventually cause damage to your lipids. I want to introduce some beef tartare in my food. Which cuts would you recommend? I would start with getting like a roast, like an inside roast or outside roast. That's going to be like your leanest and it's going to be your cleanest form. The only reason I say roast, because the roast does not have as much surface as a ground beef or anything. Then you can actually start with that as being your raw intake of food. Then slowly, once you build the digestion for it and you feel great, you're not feeling off or nothing like that. Because keep in mind, when you start eating raw, you're not going to eat as much as you would be eating cooked. Okay, and from there you can start to kind of adjust and add other cuts, and you can maybe add fish down the road or other things once you actually trust the source. Hey guys, you have enough water? Yes, you do. I want a good point about moving to the nature. Also done that. I have also done that. I moved from real big city in the Netherlands to the mountains in Germany to heal. 100%. Cheers to that. You know, that's the best way. I highly recommend everybody to move away from the city, especially if they want, you know, nice longevity and feel at ease. What do you think a methylene blue for mitochondria? If your mitochondria is shot, then yes, it does help. But if your mitochondria is working good and you add methylene blue, then you can actually cause a little bit more of damage. Then you have to actually adjust the dosing. But yeah, methylene blue works not bad. It's not a supplement to actually rely on. It's just something maybe you might do temporary. I wrote a full article on it on Substack. 2 articles actually on methylene blue. But yeah, definitely it could be used, or you can actually use peptides, a little bit more on the safer side, if you want to actually enhance your mitochondria. Because if you actually cause mitochondrial damage, then you're going to cause nitric oxide disruption. How long can you safely store lamb fat in your freezer? Oh, you can have it for forever. I've had my lamb fat stored for almost 2 years in the freezer. Now in the fridge is different. In the fridge you don't have as much, because if it does have any type of liquid, it's gonna mold. So make sure there is no liquid left in it. But yeah, you can store it for a long time. Maurice, probably living by yourself in Duke, in solitude, is the most proper environment for enriching spirituality also. Do you reckon about this? Oh, 100%. 100%. It's all about being calm and grounded. And trust me, you'll know the difference once your nervous system gives you signs. If I can get nauseous from fatty red meat and rendered fast, would you have some recommendations for me? I found out digestive-wise, hard-boiled eggs, chicken. Well, the only reason you do that because your bile, your gallbladder is not releasing enough bile, and your body's not used to it because you probably never done it before. So you have to actually train your body, and you can only add 10 grams of fat every 7 days till your body get used to it and your gallbladder release proper bile. So that's why taurine helps to actually kind of speed up the process. Give me a second, guys. I gotta put a piece of wood in the wood stove. The only reason I say chicken are not good to eat is because if they're not pasture, I would never touch them. If they are pasture raised, yeah, they're fine. But if they're not pasture raised, I would never touch them. I would never touch like a commercial chicken or eat their organs or anything like that. Damascus Earth supplement. Oh, I use that for my chicken. But no, you can actually use a DMSO. DMSO, you can use it for calcifications, you can use it for pain, you can use it topically, you can use it internally, you can use it for a lot of things. I have some, I actually spray it in the chicken coop as well. It gets rid of any issues or itchiness from the chicken. But no, you can definitely use it. How far north are you? Do you get enough UV from the sun? I lose sun for about 3 months out of the year. I get 0 sun. So as you can see, the way I live right now, I have no sun. So it's like that for about 3 months and 3-4 months actually of the year. And the rest, we do get some sun, but still, because I have 2 big mountains in front and the back, I lose the sun. So I don't get a full 14 hours. I only get roughly about 8 hours or so. That's it. And yes, I do lose quite a bit on the UV. That's why sometimes I do have to supplement vitamin D if it drops too low. But I get enough vitamin D sometimes from eating egg yolk and fish. But no, I don't get enough sun here. That's the only downfall about it. You know, sometimes you can't have everything all in one area, right? I have water, the rich atmosphere, the oxygen. Everything's nice and calm and quiet, but I lose the sun quite a bit. Thoughts on taking betaine HCl? Yeah, you can take hydrochloric betaine before a meal so you can actually increase the acidity and help you break down the food better. You can definitely do that. So we got some lamb soup as well too. I had it on here since last night. It's been cooking nice and slow. I was advised to take egg lecithin to keep my arteries clean. You know, there's so much supplement shit out there that they tell you take choline and take lecithin and take phospholipid serine and all that stuff that it cleans your arteries, it cleans everything. It's all bullshit. You know, at the end of the day, you know, imagine you're eating a crappy diet and you're still taking all these supplements. You think it's gonna work? No, the diet and the supplement, they have to be hand in hand working together. If they're not, then nothing would work. And you know, here's one tip for you. If you want to keep your arteries nice and pliable, one of the best supplement out there would be glycine, and it's found in collagen to keep your arteries as pliable as possible. It's not about, you know, removing plaque or preventing plaque buildup. It's about making sure your arteries stay nice and pliable, nice and flexible. If they become stiff, that's when we have issues. What's your thoughts in sun training bed? Would it be good to use during winter? Not for a tan, but the UV light, or it's really I haven't, to be honest with you. I don't want to give you like a bullshit answer. I haven't looked into it much, but yeah, the UVB light would be great to get, you know, proper methylation of vitamin D. But other than that, radiation, we'll have to check the EMF value of it and how much is causing damage to our tissue or not, or to your mitochondria. So I can't really give you an answer unless I kind of dig a little bit further into it. But for sure, it does affect your mitochondria, and it could damage your mitochondria. Glycine from bone broth enough, or do you? No. If you can drink bone broth at least 2 cups a day, that would be plenty enough. If you can, then I would say add glycine to your diet, because we do need at least 15 grams a day. Are there wild animals that could threaten your peace up there? We have black bears, brown bears, we have grizzlies, we got coyotes, we got white lions, they call them, or yeah, white lions, I guess they call them, or we get, what else we get here? That's mostly the ones that we actually get of quite a bit. We get a daily, I only seen the black bears since I've been here, and I've seen a lot of coyotes. Yesterday we had about 3 coyotes. Last week we had about 4 coyotes. They come. So we get a lot of coyotes. And Duke, that's why Duke wakes me up in the middle of the night. He wants to go outside and bark at them. And sometimes I have to have my shotgun and rifle ready. I don't shoot at them. I shoot just in the air to scare them off, because they come at the chicken. Sun tanning from the ST bed. Are there? I'll stay 5 more minutes, guys. And after that, I'm going to have to take Duke for a walk, because he's waiting for me. There he is. See, around this time, when it hits between 10 and 11, it's starting to get a little bit warmer, which is nice. And usually, probably all this cloud here, I hope it should be gone by 12 o'clock. Right, Duke? Hey, did I close the wood stove? Let's just make sure. Did we close it? Wait, Duke, give me a sec. Yeah, we closed it. Let's go dig. And collagen is way better than gelatin, right? I make natural jelly with gelatin. My guts likes it. Oh yeah, it is good, and you can do that from bone broth as well too. You should get enough, collagen and gelatin. But you need at least a good 15 grams of glycine daily. So you gotta do the calculation to see how much you're getting per cup, if you're getting enough glycine. But we do need, an average person right now, these days, especially if you actually have any type of heart disease or issues, you need minimum 15 grams of glycine a day. How do you increase nitric oxide? Breathing and isometric exercises. Grounding would be good, and making sure your mitochondria stays active, because your mitochondria is what allows your nitric oxide to work. But as well, without magnesium, your mitochondria will crash, and if your mitochondria crash, your nitric oxide will stop producing correctly. Collagen peptide, good for gut. Collagen peptide is not bad, yeah. Surprise, YouTube is blocking comments. I wonder why. This is unusual. I've had this message like a couple times already today. Maybe I'm saying things that I shouldn't. Or maybe we'll start doing our private videos on school or something. It'll be different. But that's interesting. Duke. Hey, say hi. Did you get a bone today? No? Tomorrow in the afternoon you get one? Yeah? You want one in the afternoon? What blood work should be done when booking an appointment with you? It depends on your goal. If it depends on your goal, whether you're treating your heart disease or whether you're treating something in specific, then I can customize a blood work for you. Beautiful scene and fresh air, love it, thank you. I will be on my way too soon. Sounds good, that's awesome. Do you like cold plunges? Yeah, I'm trying to actually build the cold plunge right there. See where the rock is? So I have a small creek that I actually made it under my road, and it's coming out from there. up to the rock, and it goes under my road, and it goes back to the creek again. So I'm trying to make this section here to turn it into like my cold plunge in the winter and summertime. So the water we get here is the glacier water. It's super, super cold. And let's go to it. See, it's already starting to get wet. Like that area there, that section there does not freeze because I've already kind of maintained the ground so it has proper moisture. So that section here is going to be my little cold plunge. But it's cold today. Let me see if I can show you. I've been working on it since like last year, trying to actually finish it. I couldn't finish it this year, but I did the road here. So there's the water. This is going to be my little cold plunge section. I'm going to close it off. But right now you can't. The water is like really, really cold here. But this is where the water is coming out from underground. I don't know if you can see it. And this is going to be the section. So I got the rocks. I just have to kind of do some more digging and I'll get it going. So hopefully I think I'll have it done during the summertime. But I'm debating because I was going to add another section to the chicken coop up here. I don't want it to be too close to where I'm going to be jumping in the water, or I'm going to get a goat yet. I haven't really decided. So we'll see what happens. Looking forward to the classes, the concept of it. If we miss the classes because of work, etc., have a great day, smile, and look, have fun. You too, Sandra. Take care of yourself. Yeah, the class when I have is going to be pre-recorded as well and left on the school. So if it is missed, it'll be there as well too. The sun tanning beds increase the big C. YouTube blocking my comment. Oh. Yeah, it's probably over producing of the UVB. I don't know. I'll have to look into it to see more in specific if it does. Like, I'm not really huge on a lot of these big lights and systems and everything. Still, the data on them and the testing is so limited that it doesn't give you like a full answer on everything. Is Devil's Claw good for repairing cartilage? It is good, but Devil's Claws as a herb, I've read a little bit about it, not a whole lot. I'll have to actually dig a little bit more further to see exactly if it causes any defects or harm, because I'm not a huge believer in a lot of the herbs, because due to the way they're grown, unless you can grow them yourself. Good evening, Maurice. Hey. Yes, void, guys, 100%. Why is it so cold, Duke, today? Usually I can last outside for 2 hours. Now I can barely last outside half hour. 20 minutes and my hands get frozen. Good catch, bud. Awesome. Cold plunge, lucky. Have a good day. Thanks, Tim. I can't stand tanning bed. I was curious about it for lights. I'll stick to my vitamin D. I think vitamin D still would be the safest. I have one of my patients. He actually bought a stand-up light UVB to actually get his vitamin D. So he's been doing it for 2 weeks now. So I guess we'll see the biomarkers when we do some testing. Do you do construction? I never done construction, but I built a whole unit by myself. So, you know, sometimes I think it's common sense, some of the stuff. And, you know, and I think sometimes we tend to watch a lot of YouTube videos out there, what people are building and stuff, what they're doing. But I've always had it in me, never really done construction. But I think sometimes when we all have time and we think, we can accomplish anything we want. How to grow my hair on my head back? I don't know, maybe micro needling, or maybe it's a copper deficiency. Most of the time it's lack of nutrients, and sometimes it's a thyroid dysfunctional. I should actually, if you guys want me to focus a little bit more on hair, I could actually start looking into it a little bit more in depth. For me, it was not something big, but I can always look into it for you guys if you want. Now, my phone dropped. It's like down to like 10%. Look, I have to go inside. Gotta plug the phone in before it dies. Will your vision improve while on carnivore? Yes, it does. Actually, quite a bit. especially if you use the computer. I used to use the computer quite a bit, and I used to get a lot of eye strain. So since I've been on a carnivore, roughly on my 3rd year being on a carnivore, the eye strain completely gone. So now I've been on a carnivore. It's coming up to 12 years. As of March, it'll be 12 years for me. Yes, your liver is connected to your eyes. Look, my phone is gonna get cut off. Wait. Let me plug the phone in. Before I lose you guys. I know I won't be able to stay long because I gotta... Sunday is my cleaning day. Give me a second, guys. Let's plug it in. Does race play a role in vitamin D absorption? Yeah, darker skin, we don't actually absorb as vitamin D as we should. So the way you do it is you're supposed to take 10,000 international, 1,000 international unit per 25 pound of body weight. That's in the summertime, and I'll take my shoes off. And in the winter time, you take 1,500 IU per 25 pound of body weight. That's your ideal intake of vitamin D. So you can actually, and your vitamin D level should be at least 80 nanograms per milliliter. That's like the ideal amount you want. How long should grounding be done for? I don't know, I do about 10 minutes daily. I try to do 10 minutes daily on the ice outside, but that's minimum. Is beef tongue also seen as an organ? Yes, it is. And I think by far, if you've already tried liver or others, you'll definitely love the tongue, beef tongue. It's one of my favorite. I just cooked my last one 2 days ago. Now I'm out. Usually I buy enough so it can last me 3 months, and I actually ate them all in like 2 weeks, which is kind of disappointing because to buy them here, they're very, very expensive. They freaking overcharge like crazy. They charge like almost $10 to $15 a pound, and every tongue is about 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds. You can eat that in all one sitting. Very rich in fat, very good tenderness for the meat. It's super, super delicious. Seriously, once you have the tongue, you'll never go back to even eating liver or beef heart because it has a nice rich flavor. And it's nice and moist too, which is really good. Castor oil good for thinning hair mixed with essential rosemary oil. Yes, I swear it works. By some patients, it grows back. Nap time for me. Yeah, the rosemary oil actually helps penetrate, and especially if you're doing micro needling as well too. Just drinking and swallowing good in the morning. I can't chew it. Is having salt and just drinking, swallowing good in the morning? Yeah, you should. Yes, yeah. As long as you do it in like warm water, should be fine. What supplements repairs gut villus? Go on a carnivore diet. You'll actually fix that. Or you have some butter, or you got some butyric acid. Same here in Utah. Organ meats went up in price as well as beef bones. Someone caught on. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Like I used to, like 2 years ago, I used to buy the beef tongue for $2 a pound. From $2 a pound to $15 a pound. That's a massive, massive jump. Seriously. How is it most healthy to cook beef tongue? Pressure cook. I put it on my wood stove. So there's 2 different ways of doing it. If you put it in a pressure cook, you want to keep it there for about 35-40 minutes. So it's not overly cooked, but it's cooked enough that you can actually remove the skin and actually you can enjoy it because the skin is very thick of the tongue. That's one way. The other way is you can actually, when you have it raw, just remove all the skin and cut them into like small chunks of steaks. And you can actually just kind of go 30 seconds per side and put some salt on it, and it's super delicious. Very, very good. And it gets you full. Like that's one organ you could never overeat, seriously, because it's so rich. And I think the ratio of it, like fat to protein, it has to be at least like 3-to-1 because it will fill you up like really fast. Most healthy to eat the beef tongue is cooked. I like it in the on the stove, on the pressure cook style. That's the way I like to eat it. But I don't overcook it because I like to actually have that little bite. Pressure cooking great for beef tongue, 100%. Yes, meat prices are to the roof here as well. Last 5 years, yeah, I think they're catching on. They're gonna start keep increasing and increasing the prices, so nobody can afford them, and now we can start demanding some printed, some 3D printed meat. Oh damn, this is gonna be interesting. How do we get potassium? We get enough potassium from the meat we eat. You don't need to add potassium, seriously. They probably are testing the incorrect potassium level. They have to check RBC potassium, not your serum potassium. I weigh 180 pounds. I take 10,000 per day. Yeah, you take 180 divided by 25 pounds. So let's see. I'll give you an exact number. Where's my calculator? It's funny, we get used to these fucking calculators. So if you're 180 divided by 25, so your maintenance of vitamin D is 8,000 international units a day. So you're taking 10,000, which is good. Are you going for a hunt there in the winter? I am. I would like to get my license, start doing it. The season opens in September. Right now, this year, I'm not ready for it. Last but not least, it's my birthday today. Steak with candles on it tonight and a Cougar Club now. Bye. Oh, cheers. Well, happy birthday, Sandra. I wish you all the best and enjoy the time with your friends and family gathering. And we'll have a drink for you, me and Duke over here. Keep in mind, birthday is just a number. So make sure you're enjoying like your 20s or so. Are you worried about the government not liking people eating meat because of climate change? Climate change is all bullshit. It's all about control. You know, this it's funny. 50 years ago, they blamed the saturated fat. 50 years later, now they're saying saturated fat is good. So today they're starting with the climate bullshit. 50 years from now, they say, oops, we just did a mistake. We eliminated half of the population with a huge mistake. It's all based on their agenda, what they're trying to do. That's all I can say. I know I shouldn't be saying stuff like that, but you know, all that conspiracy and stuff like that's all designed by control the people. It's too bad. Last night I discovered I love liver with bacon. You were missing out then. One of my favorite dish used to be bacon, liver, and there's a specific garlic sauce we used to make as a Middle Eastern. We actually put that as well too with suet, and that's like probably one of my favorite. But I don't eat garlic anymore or other stuff. Do whatever, eat pot roast, slow cooking it. Yes, yeah. Yeah, like the way I'm doing it right now on my wood stove over there. I don't have a beef tongue on here, but that's how I usually put it. I put the beef tongue in that, let it cook on the wood stove for about an hour or two. I take it out, I put it on cold water, I peel the skin off from the beef tongue, and I actually cut them into like small bite-sized steak, and they're really, really rich, really good. Is taking vitamin C essential on a daily basis? It is optional as an antioxidant form. It depends how much sugar you consume, whether you need it or not. I couldn't agree more with you, Maurice. They're treating us as if we're super hungry. You know, and the thing is, they speak publicly about it and they talk quite loud about it. You know, and some people laugh because they know it's just nonsense. But you know, a lot of us they know exactly what's going on. The majority of us, I think, the majority of us is a very small percentage that understand exactly what's happening, which is too bad, right? Like, you know, this land is given so, you know, human can actually thrive and survive and enjoy life as one big family. And now it's almost like we're being separated, where we have, you know, vegan against carnivore, we have labels on diet, we have the left and the right, we have so many things out there that they keep us occupied while they're actually working in the background. A new subscriber, happy new year. I'm back on carnivore. That's awesome to hear. 2 weeks, feeling great. Looking forward to learning more from you. I take ice bath regularly. Do you think they can affect digestion? If anything, they will actually enhance digestion. They will increase the acidity production in the gut, 100%. If you have good access to it and you enjoy it without actually uh, feeling loss of energy or anything like that, because it should actually motivate you and kind of keeps that mitochondria growing. So yeah, go for it. I can't wait till I finish mine because I'm making mine outside in the ice cold, but we'll get there soon. Will you move to the USA? Um, Maybe, yes. Like it depends how things are going here. Like I spent so much money on this land to actually fix it up the way I want, and I wanted to add like a guest room. And the thing is, you always question yourself: do I add a guest room, or I auto add it? Is things gonna continue the way they are, or is it gonna get better? So I always have that question in my mind. What about blood pudding? Cow blood transformed, so popular in Quebec. My dad eat that. It's so processed and shit added to it. I told him not to eat it. If I want to drink the cow blood or anything like that, if that's what you mean, the only place I would get it from is directly from liver. What soaps and shower gels do you use? Organic stuff? For soap, I do have an African organic soap that I order. That's the only one I use. I don't use anything for my hair. I use that same soap, and I use coconut, or I use like beef tallow on the skin. That's about it. And same thing with underarm. I have this rock that I use where you wear it and you use it underarm. I haven't used any deodorant and anything for like almost 10 years. Toilet paper, I barely use any toilet paper because when you are on a carnivore diet, pretty much it's like a ghost wipe. So it's funny, they say the diet is too expensive and whatnot, but you save so much money along the way with other bullshit that your body doesn't really require. Anyone ever tell you that you look like Rick Grimes from walking? Oh, I get that a lot. I get that quite a bit. If I were you, I would stay in Canada, especially for the next year to follow. That's the plan. Like I'm gonna stay here for a bit to see exactly what's gonna happen, what changes, because I would hate to move to another country and suddenly, you know, things flip in that country. Then I'll have to kind of say, well, where am I gonna go again? It's like every time you go from one place to another, it's almost like you're reestablishing yourself, you're restarting from scratch, and it's not easy. Like seriously, it's not easy, and it becomes more of a pain, especially if you're still working to make a living. It's not easy to kind of go from one place to another. So right now, I'm staying here to see how things are going. I know things are becoming very, very expensive compared to what it was, but as long as we're thankful and we still have our health, that's what mostly counts. And as long as we still eat, quality over quantity, right? And that's what kind of counts. Hey Maurice, do you eat sausage? I don't know. I notice a lot of it is filled. Yes, was never a big sausage person or have tried any, and I notice a lot of them, even they might say clean source or Paleolithic sausages and whatnot, they still contain so many fillers. And these fillers, to me, it becomes more of variety, and that variety can actually throw your gut microbiome out of order. I am on the same page as you and on those matters as well. Cheers, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good to hear. I use a fraction of the toilet paper I used 8 months ago when I changed to carnivore. Finally, over the dizziness, I fell off in December and picked back up. Start of the month. Awesome, man. Continue doing, Paul. You're doing a great job. Bided is wonderful addition. Bidet. Oh, the bidet. I know. See, bidet back in the day when I was young and living overseas, bidet is a huge thing in the Middle East countries and in Egypt. They use it a lot, and I'm glad they brought it back on to the North America. But I think that would be great to actually eliminate toilet paper for good. Oh, Sandra has one. Nice. But yeah, I think that's like the most natural way. We have own Rick Grimes, 100%. Hey, we gotta start somewhere, right? Okay, I'm gonna stay like 5 more minutes, guys, because I know I've been on here for almost, wow, more than 2 hours. Usually I only do this for an hour. Next on your list, Maurice. Next on my list. So when I hang up with you, I have to go collect the chicken eggs, and I'll have to cut some more wood for Sunday evening. And I have to actually get my video ready for Wednesday. I have to do a video for you guys for Wednesday, because I usually every Wednesday I put out a video. And I gotta start, waiting for the snow to melt so I can build my room and put my gym in it. I have a big gym in my container. You guys seen my container over there, right? I have a gym inside of it. So I want to move it into a room. I couldn't work out in the winter. It was getting like really too cold. Favorite music? Heavy metals. We used to have Bidet here too, coming back here as well. Oh, that's awesome. To watch the end of the stream. You can always go back and watch it, Paul. Yes, we have it too, plus bleach toilet paper, non-bleach toilet paper, okay, and paper towel. That's awesome. Got cracking on the resistance trainer. I have to get back into it because I was off for so many years because I damaged my tendon. So I think it's fully recovered. I definitely would love to kind of go back into it. Do you drink water with salt? I do. I actually have mineral salt mineralization in my Berkey tank, so I'm constantly getting minerals every time I drink water. I cleaned my ceiling with it once, let it run, and went downstairs. It got a strong jets. It was funny. That's awesome. Clean the ceiling with it. That's pretty good. Metal all the way. Yes, 100% stainless steel. Stainless steel, glass. That's pretty much all I try to kind of use. Even for my cooking board or cutting board, I do use the wood as well too, and stainless steel. So you gotta try to kind of stay away from a lot of that plastic stuff as much as possible, because a lot of it should never be used. Do you use sausages? I always have read. No, I don't. I don't eat any sausages at all due to the fillers, or even touch them or anything. So just as you can see, mostly eggs, beef, yak, meat, maybe fish, sometimes cheeses if I can get my hands on good cheese. That's it. And a lot of salt. A lot of salt because we need it. Happy World Carnivore Month, everyone. Cheers, Kimmy. I never drink that much water, but I think I've been talking too much. It's been almost 2 hours talking to you guys, so I do have to get going. I have a few things to finish for the day. You guys have a happy Sunday, and I'm gonna actually probably either later today or tomorrow, I'm gonna launch the school. I know they're gonna be like a cost to it on a monthly basis, but it is gonna be focused on I have enough modules to actually cover almost about 2 years, but it is gonna cover the full aspect of the biology of the human being, but in a healing type of a place form. And it's going to be strictly about carnivore as well too, because we're going to be utilizing that to actually heal our heart. And I specialize mostly in heart disease more than anything as well too. So if you guys are interested, I'll send you the information. Hopefully we can see you there. And it'll be I think better of freely talk without being supervised either. So you guys have a happy Sunday, and we'll touch base. And if you guys have any questions, I know I have been behind on responding to everybody, but I'm trying. There's only one me. I'm trying to respond to everybody as much as I could. In the meantime, you guys enjoy. And yes, heavy metals. Awesome. Cheers, guys. Happy weekend.